we tried to recontextualize the nature of the ego itself, because it is so central to all spiritual work, and reinterpret it in the light of history to avoid the Gothic downside of religion, which causes a certain aversion to religion. You see, a lot of people avoid it because they just don't want to look at guilt and sin. And in the 12-step groups, the fourth step is, first step, you admit you're powerless without God's help. And then in the fourth step, you take a fearless inner inventory. A lot of people get sober and stay sober up to step 3 and never do step 4. Took an honest and thorough spiritual inventory. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And why do people avoid that? They avoid that because of the way the ego's been contextualized. So with a different contextualization, you can see what all you're saying is the primitive drives within the human brain, because they're genetically there, imprinted, over great time and chromosomes and all, and genes, tend to dominate unless there's some reason to go beyond them, And of course, the big jump is honesty and owning responsibility for one's own actions. To take responsibility for one's own actions. To be innocent reduces culpability, but that does not eliminate responsibility. That's a fine point. The fact you didn't know reduces culpability, but the fact that you got to undo that, you still got to undo it. Even though you owe the money not through any fault of your own, you still owe the money to the bank. See what I'm saying? So on the other hand, your punishability is down to 0, but you're still your responsibility to take responsibility for your own decisions. It's true. The human is driven by fallacy because of the distortion of the animal brain, but he still is responsible for his actions and to evolve beyond them. This is possible to do it without your superego, which is your Freudian conscience, attacking you with guilt. So if you're relatively unafraid of your own conscience, then you can do an honest and integrous inner spiritual inventory. But if it looks like a dangerous animal waiting to bite you the minute you admit something, you're going to avoid it. So to avoid that denial and aversion to inner honesty, I think recontextualizing the ego is useful.